Just imagine one 30-minute habit that can shrink your dementia risk, regulate blood sugar levels, and lift a low mood faster than most people believe, and you already own everything you need to do it.
Your own two legs. Walking gets written off as the thing you do when you are too tired for real exercise or something that old people do. That is a massive mistake. From the hippocampus in your brain all the way down to the discs in your spine, 10 very real, science-backed changes start firing the moment a daily walk becomes a habit.
I'm a scientist, and today I'm breaking down exactly what happens inside your body when you walk every single day. The 10 science-backed changes.
The mechanisms are genuinely fascinating, and once you understand them, you'll never look at a simple 30-minute walk the same way again. A few of these are going to sound impossible. Walking rebuilding part of the brain? Or easing that back pain?
The science holds up, but only if it is done one specific way. So stay to the end, because the final 60 seconds break down the FIT formula.
The exact blueprint for how often, how fast, and how long to walk so not a single step goes to waste. Here is a question that stumps most people. Can moving the legs actually change the size of the brain? It can. Researchers at the University of Pittsburgh took a group of older adults who had been sitting most of their lives and had them walk for 40 minutes, 3 days a week, for 1 year. Brain scans at the end showed something that was supposed to be impossible. The hippocampus, the brain's memory and learning center, had physically grown by about 2%. That growth effectively turned back the clock on age-related shrinkage by 1 to 2 years. This matters because the hippocampus is one of the first regions to break down in dementia and Alzheimer's. Walking does not cure those diseases, but it triggers a protein called BDNF that helps build and protect brain cells. But how could walking possibly do anything for the eyes? The connection is pressure. Glaucoma, one of the leading causes of blindness, builds slowly as fluid pressure rises inside the eye and presses on the optic nerve. Regular moderate exercise like brisk walking has been linked to lower pressure inside the eye and healthier blood flow to it. This is not a magic cure, but for something that costs nothing and asks for 30 minutes, gently helping protect the optic nerve is a quiet win most people never see coming. Now here is the belief that needs to be smashed right now. That if a person is not running, their heart is not really working. Not true. Walking and running can deliver similar protection against heart disease and stroke. A daily half-hour walk works like a gentle pressure valve, widening blood vessels, helping lower high blood pressure, and improving cholesterol. So the heart needs consistency. Walking gives the cardiovascular system the work it craves and has a protective benefit. Most people get winded climbing one flight of stairs. So what is actually changing when a daily walker stops feeling that burn? Walking is an aerobic activity. And here's the part most videos get wrong. It does not make the lungs physically bigger. What it upgrades is the whole oxygen system around them. The body gets far better at pulling oxygen out of each breath, loading it into the blood, and delivering it to working muscles. Over weeks, the same stairs, the same grocery haul, the same chasing after a kid simply stop leaving a person winded. That is the real win. Not bigger lungs, but a more efficient engine. Better oxygen delivery means more everyday energy and stamina, while a sedentary body slowly loses that capacity. Here is where the science gets genuinely surprising. For controlling blood sugar, could the slow option beat the hard one? In some studies, yes. For controlling blood sugar, brisk, moderate walking can match or even beat harder, faster exercise, especially the post-meal blood sugar spike, where a short walk right after eating does the most good. Over the long run, walking and running come out about even for preventing diabetes, but for taming that after-dinner spike, walking is the quiet champion. Walking improves insulin sensitivity, meaning the body needs less insulin to do the same job. For anyone worried about prediabetes, this is one of the most powerful free tools that exists, and it fits in the 10 minutes after dinner. Think about this. If a person sits still all day, what is the gut actually doing? Almost nothing. The digestive tract moves food along with wave-like muscle contractions, and that system speeds up with movement. Just 30 minutes of walking a day helps keep things regular and reduces the misery of sluggish digestion. It goes deeper than comfort. For years, the link between movement and lower colon cancer risk was just a correlation, until a 2025 trial flipped it on its head. Researchers put colon cancer survivors on a walking-based exercise program for 3 years and tracked them against people who got standard care alone. The results stunned the cancer world. The walkers were significantly more likely to stay cancer-free and far less likely to die than the group that did not exercise. For the very first time, movement was proven, not just linked, to extend survival. Walking keeps the body clearing waste every day, and for those who need it most, it now stands as genuine medicine. Now, can a person really tone their body without ever touching a gym? The honest answer surprises people. Walking, especially adding hills or short, faster intervals, tones the legs, glutes, and core, and builds real endurance, all with almost no recovery time and no torn-up joints. There is no day-after soreness keeping anyone on the couch. Here is the honest catch the clickbait videos skip. Walking alone will not replace strength training for building muscle. It is the perfect foundation, the thing that can be done every single day. And paired with a little resistance work, it becomes unstoppable. Form matters too. Spine tall, elbows around 90 degrees, arms swinging. Bone is living tissue that rebuilds itself in response to stress. When the feet strike the ground, that gentle impact signals bone-building cells to get to work. And walking has been shown to help maintain bone density at the hip, one of the most dangerous places to break. Here is the honest limit, though. Walking does a lot for the hip, but very little for the spine, so it is not a complete bone program on its own. To protect the spine and build more, pair daily walking with higher impact moves or a little strength training. Here is the one that confuses everyone. Back pain is everywhere, so how could moving possibly help instead of hurt? The discs that cushion the spine have almost no blood supply of their own. They feed by being gently squeezed and released, like sponges soaking up nutrients. Walking provides exactly that pumping motion, while strengthening the muscles that hold the body upright and improving posture. That is why, for many people, the best move for a stiff, aching back is not lying down. It is a daily walk. In a recent trial, people who recovered from back pain and then started a simple walking routine went far longer before it came back. Movement is what oils the hinges that sitting has rusted shut. And that leaves the most powerful change of all, the one happening in the mind.
Can a 30-minute walk rival a bad day's grip on someone?
Researchers studied people living with major depression and found that walking 30 to 45 minutes a day, several days a week, significantly improved their symptoms. The mechanism is chemical. Walking lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, calms the body's overactive stress response, and releases endorphins along with that same brain-protecting protein, BDNF. Other studies found people's moods lifted from walking without them even realizing it was happening. And a 2024 review showed the effect is simple enough to spot on a step counter. The more daily steps a person took, the lower their rates of depression. It turns out it is very hard to stay stuck in a heavy, frozen state while the body is moving forward. The two simply do not coexist well. This benefit touches on depression, a sensitive topic. If a viewer is struggling, walking is a helpful addition to care, not a replacement for professional support. Now, before anyone laces up and bolts out the door, stop. Because most people do this wrong and get almost nothing for it. Strolling while staring at a phone is not walking, it is stumbling in slow motion. Flat, unsupportive shoes will wreck the arches. And doing it once a week, randomly, when motivation strikes, that gets zero results. Every single benefit on this list comes from one thing: repetition. The body needs a daily signal, not a rare surprise. So here is the blueprint that ties all 10 together. It is called the FIT formula, and it stands for frequency, intensity, and time. Break these and the effort is wasted. Frequency. The target is daily. Not ready for that? 3 to 5 days a week is a strong start. Only have 5 minutes? Do the 5 minutes, but do them often. The cells need a steady, repeating signal to change. Intensity. This is where most people get too comfortable. A slow, window shopping pace will not move the needle. Aim for the talk test zone, roughly 2 to 3 miles per hour. A person should be able to talk but not comfortably sing. If singing is easy, speed up. If gasping for air, ease off. Time. The magic number is 30 minutes. That is the threshold where the real shifts kick in. And as for steps, here is the newest science. A massive 2025 review pooling 57 studies found that hitting about 7,000 steps a day was linked to nearly half the risk of an early death. So aim for 7,000 at the minimum. 3 quick orders to lock it in. 1. Drink water first because a dehydrated engine seizes up. 2. Swing the arms. It brings in the upper body and burns more energy. 3. Walk at the same time each day, ideally in the morning, to anchor the body's natural rhythm.
The diagnosis is clear. The cure is free. And now the formula is in hand. The body will either rust from stillness or rebuild from motion. And that choice gets made one step at a time, starting today.
Please do send in your valuable responses and do like, share, and subscribe.